there is nothing golden about the Joe Biden tax plan, what he is proposing. And I have spoken about this in the past, but it's a good time to do it again since he has really, I think, unveiled this tax plan, tax and spending plan, and it is in the news quite a bit. And nobody is really putting it in its proper perspective. So well, I'm about to do that now. And so I really wish that somebody on the Trump team would listen to this part of my podcast because this really needs to be exposed. I mean, this is where Biden is actually very vulnerable to the extent that Americans even care about this. I mean, there could be some Americans that have no problem with what I'm about to say. That's the sad reality. But there could still be a lot of Americans that have some sense of morality, that still have an idea about the difference between right and wrong. And maybe if they actually had these numbers presented to them the way I'm going to do it now, maybe it could make a difference in this presidential race. So listen up, anybody who's affiliated with the Trump campaign, and give him some ideas from this podcast in my going over the Biden plan. And of course, first of all, the big part about the plan is spending a lot more money, trillions and trillions of dollars of additional spending. And of course, as much as he's proposing, it's probably going to be worse. And the vast majority of the spending is concentrated on education and healthcare. I mean, this is where the federal government has already been diverting so much resources, education and healthcare. If government spending on education and healthcare solved the problems in education and healthcare, it would have already been solved. I mean, we are spending so much money in these areas, and every Democratic politician, even Republicans, promises to solve the problem, right? Our healthcare crisis, our education crisis, to solve the problem by spending more money. Nobody realizes that the problem is a direct consequence of all the government spending. Look at the most overpriced services available today. That's education and healthcare. Why are education and healthcare so expensive? Because the government is so involved. The government is subsidizing these services. The government is diverting huge amounts of resources into these services. This is not the free market, right? If you look at the products and services that are delivered by the free market, you don't see this. You don't see prices rising at this rate. You don't see how you have a crisis of affordability where the government has to come to the rescue with more spending. It's not a coincidence that the areas of the economy in which the government is most involved and spends the most money is where prices are the most out of control. And so the more the government is involved in healthcare and education, the lower the quality of our healthcare and education will be, and the more expensive the cost of providing it will be. So, there's nothing dramatic about a Democrat promising to throw more taxpayer money down the government twin rat holes of education and healthcare. Not that I don't think education and healthcare are important. They are important. They're too important to turn over to government. Anything that's important needs to be done by the private sector. Because if you want it done right, it's got to be done by the private sector. I mean, who has got a better shot of providing you with quality services at an affordable price? A private entrepreneur who's trying to make a profit and therefore he needs to keep his costs low, and who is in competition with other private entrepreneurs who also want to make a profit, but who also have to keep their costs low and their quality high. That's what's going to get you the health care that you want, or the education that you want for your kids or for yourself. A vibrant free market economy where you have all sorts of entrepreneurs competing with one another to give you the highest quality at the lowest cost. Does anybody think you're going to get high quality and low cost from the government? If that's what you think, go spend some time at the Department of Motor Vehicles. Spend some time at the U.S. Post Office, right? That's government in action. No one gives a damn. Who cares? They don't have to win your business. They've got your business, right? They've got you by the balls. You got no place to go. A free market entrepreneur, right? The motto is the customer is always right. Well, when it comes to the government, is who gives a damn about the customer? Because they don't care if they have any customers or not. They're going to take your money whether you patronize their services or not. And there's no negative consequences. If you get bad education, you get bad health care, doesn't matter, right? If there's schools, private sector schools that are not delivering quality education, they're going to lose all their students. They're not going to have any more customers. If you've got private healthcare that's no good, no one's going to buy it. In the free market, you have a private school, they have to care about the kids. If they don't care about the kids, they're out of business because their customers aren't stuck there. They're free to choose a better product, a less expensive product, a product that has a higher quality of services. But you don't get any of that from the government. So Biden's plan to waste more money on inefficient, low quality, high cost government healthcare, government education is just, more good money after bad. It's not even good money. It's bad money after bad money.